How you doing, man?
How are you, Joe?
I'm well.
We have a president.
He's elected to the next
During
election.
that,
The
and the
election's
100
already
million
started.
people, Joe, they're very
That's
happy
simply
with.
not true.
Well, you're certainly
knows
going
that.
to socialist.
Go
You're
ahead.
going to socialist medicine.
We're now into, gentlemen, we're now into open discussion.
Open discussion.
Open discussion. Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Vice President.
Number
White.
one, proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what
that
your
is-
party has said.
that is simply
Your party
a lie.
doesn't say it. Your
That
party
is
wants to
simple.
go socialist
My
medicine
party is
and
me.
socialist
Right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to
Democratic
dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I act. And
Joe, you've had
pre-existing
308,000. Tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about
And
this.
if you were here,
Look,
it
here's
wouldn't
the
be
deal.
200, it would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily infected. You didn't want me to ban
All right, gentlemen,
Europe, which
no,
was heavily
Mr. President,
You would have
Mr.
been much
President,
later, Joe.
Mr. President,
much later.
Mr. President.
You're talking about 2 million people.
You're
Mr.
not gonna be able to
President, as
shut
the
him up.
moderator,
You don't know it's on the
begun.
ballot.
I-
Why is it on the ballot?
Because
Why is
you
it on the
said
ballot? It's not
you're-
on the ballot.
It's on the ballot in the
I
court.
don't think so.
In the court. Well,
There's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And you
just
don't
be quiet
know
for a minute?
her view on Roe v. Wade. You
I
don't
don't
know her
know.
view.
well, all right, let's talk. We got a lot to unpack here, gentlemen. We got a lot of time. So you have spent the last...
Because they want to give good health care.
If I may ask my question, sir.
Good health care.
A comprehensive plan
Yes,
to
I have.
replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well,
I got rid of the individual mandate.
I'm going to give you an
Excuse me.
opportunity.
I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a
That is
big
not a
chunk of
comprehensive
Obamacare. That
plan.
is absolutely a big thing. That was the
I
worst part of
didn't ask you,
Obamacare.
sir.
Chris,
You're
that was the
debating him,
worst
not
part of
me.
Obamacare.
Let me ask my
Well,
question.
I'll ask Joe.
The
individual mandate was the most unpopular
Mr.
aspect of
Mr.
Obamacare. I
President,
got rid of it.
I'd like
and
you
we
to,
will protect
Mr.
people
President,
with
I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this
conditions.
debate.
So we're cutting health care.
What about
All of the
pre-existing
things that
conditions?
we've done,
He has not cut
insulin.
health
I give
care.
you an example. Insulin to buy drugs because
When in
they
fact-
pay just a tiny
As
fraction.
I say,
of
this
what
is
we do.
open discussion.
No,
Let
but
me
this
ask
is
you about,
big.
you'll
This
be
is
happy,
big stuff.
sir. You'll be happy. Private insurance.
It is
and
not.
will, if I can
sorry.
ask you the question, it will
Not
end.
what your party says, by the way.
It will,
Number one.
Joe, you
Number
agreed
two.
with Bernie
Number-
Sanders, who's
I
far
did-
left, on the manifesto,
when
we
you-
call it.
when
And that
manifest-
gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
Are you saying
I'm
you
not going to
didn't
listen
agree?
to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm
Not
here.
by
I'm here
much.
standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left
Well,
2
I
days
tell
early.
you,
You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal.
But you
I just
agreed-
want to
Hey,
make
Joe,
sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has.
You'd be surprised.
You pick
You'd be surprised.
the
Go ahead,
wrong
Joe.
guy,
Talk,
the wrong
talk,
night
Joe.
at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Now
let
you're
him-
disavowing it.
There is no manifesto. Number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan
Folks,
that's absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you have
to,
any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
They call it
Mr.
Medicare.
Do you
Mr.
have any
President.
do?
Socialized medicine.
Mr.
Well,
President.
I tell you what,
Who is
because
Bernie?
because he in fact take it away.
No, I want to give
Number
him better
three.
health care at a much lower price
But-
because
and by the way, he
Obamacare
doesn't
is
know
no
how.
good.
He doesn't know how
I've
to do
already
that.
fixed it.
He has never
I've
offered
already
a
fixed
plan.
it to an extent.
He has never
Obamacare,
done a
as you
single
might
thing.
know, but probably don't.
But,
Obamacare
Gentlemen, you realize
is no
if you're
good,
both
Joe.
speaking at the
It's no
same
good,
time,
and it's too expensive.
let the president go ahead, sir.
Obamacare, but took away the individual
true.
mandate. Well,
That's what he's
and I
known
just
for.
had a meeting. It's too expensive.
Okay. I got you.
Premiums
I
are
got
too
it.
high, and
That's
it
what his
doesn't work.
people- that's what his
So
people
we
say.
we do want to
No,
get
no,
rid of it.
it's
Chris,
an
we
open
want to get rid of it.
I
and
understand
give
it, sir,
something
but I have
that's
to
cheaper
give
and
you
better.
roughly equal time.
Good.
Please,
He has no plan for health care. Of
course we do.
please.
He sends out.
In
I'm
the
saying
Congress. So
senators know how
you gonna
strongly
pack
you
the
feel.
court?
Vote now.
gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're
to
a
answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the
You wanna
question
put a
is
lot of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justices,
the
radical
question,
left.
Will you
Who
shut
is
up,
on,
man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
right, gentlemen,
This is-
I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the
unpresidential.
court.
We have
I'm not going to give a list.
We have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
They sure do.
47 years you've done nothing. They understand.
All right. The second subject is COVID-19, which is an awfully serious subject. So let's try to be serious about it.
Plan. I laid out
Sir,
back
it's
in
just 2
March
minutes.
exactly
it's so
what we
wrong.
should be doing.
So if we would have listened
Wait,
to
you have 2 minutes, sir.
Because you
It's
didn't think I should
unrelated
have
to
closed
your
our country.
COVID.
No,
Wait a
sir,
minute.
It's his 2 minutes.
You didn't think phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really? Go take a look.
I know how to get the job
Well, you didn't do
done.
very well in swine flu. H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was
A
no
very-
economic recession.
Sir, you made a
There was-
wait, no,
less
there was no
lethal
recession.
disease,
you made
by
a
the way.
point. Let him answer it.
And there was no one, so you could, in fact, say goodbye.
You would have lost far
How
more
many
people.
That
Far
is-
more people.
And,
You would have been
and by the way,
months late.
your own,
You were
his
months behind me,
his
Joe.
own CDC director says
You don't
we
trust
Dr.
Johnson &
Fauci.
Johnson, Pfizer?
And
Okay,
by the way,
gentlemen,
and
gentlemen, let me move on to.
Save lives. Left, or I don't know if I call
So
him
you're
left. I don't know
suggesting
what I
that
call
the
him.
head of your Operation Warp Speed, Dr. Slawi,
I disagree with him. Yeah, no, I disagree with both.
He talked about the summer, sir, before it's generally available. Just like
He said
Dr.
it's a
Redfield.
possibility. It could also
I'm
be
talking
after
about when it's
that.
generally available. Not when
Well,
it would
we're
be.
going to deliver it right away. They're going to be
this is
delivering
the
the
same
vaccine.
man
It's
who
all
told
set
you.
up.
This is the
That
same
was
man.
said sarcastically,
That was
and you
him.
know that.
I
That was said sarcastically.
And so here's the deal. Pray God we will.
Mr. Vice President, I want to pick up
You'll have
on
the
that.
vaccine
I
sooner
want to
than
pick
that.
up on this question, though. You say the public, but you're saying
Everybody
you can't,
knows.
or Senator
And-
Harris is saying
no,
you can't trust the scientists.
No, you can't trust
She
us.
said the public health
Did say
experts,
that.
quote, will be muzzled, will be suppressed.
Well, that's and by
I
the way,
spoke to the
and Fauci-
scientists that are in
and by
charge.
the way,
They will have
and
the vaccine very
does-
soon.
Smarter, a lot quicker.
So-
Mr. President?
College. You didn't go to Delaware State.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's
Let's
nothing.
have this debate.
And if
We'll
you
see
would have
who's-
had, let me just tell you something, Joe.
See, he-
And it's
We're going to
going
get
up
to the
fast.
economy in the next segment, sir.
Okay.
It's going up fast. I look
Okay.
forward to talking.
When it comes to how the virus has been handled,
Have to
Tell
provide
that
them
to Nancy
plastic.
Pelosi.
Well, he's just shush for a minute.
Tell it to
The-
Nancy
the-
Pelosi. And Schumer,
by the
Brian
way,
Chuck.
I mean, literally,
Okay.
think about it.
You probably
All right,
play
think
more than
about
I
it.
do, Joe.
what about this question of reopenings and the fact?
Well, he wants to shut down this country. And I want to keep it open. And we did
he
a great thing
just
by
admitted
shutting
he
it
shut
down.
it down.
Wait a minute,
Let
Joe.
him
Let me
finish,
shut
sir.
you down for
yeah.
on November 3rd.
I want to move on to another
because
subject.
it's a
I want to move
political
on to
thing.
another
I've
subject.
gotta
But
respond.
those,
I
but
wanna
those
move-
states,
gentlemen, I
those
wanna move
states
on to
are
another
not
subject.
doing well that are shut down
Which is
right
gotta
now.
respond to that.
Wants to
President
shut
Trump,
down the
you
whole
have
country
begun.
with the things that you have to, but I
Just
wear
like your
masks
rallies.
when I will say
Vice President Biden, go ahead.
It matters.
And they've also
It
said the
matters.
opposite. They've
And
also said
no,
the opposite.
no serious person said the opposite.
They've
no
also said, well, look
serious
all right, I
at
wanna
person.
Dr.
ask you-
Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the
He
opposite.
did not
I
say
want to
the
ask you, we
opposite.
got a
said
little
very
bit more than a
strongly,
minute left in this
masks
segment.
are not good. Then he changed his mind. He said masks good.
I
I'm
wanna
okay
ask-
with masks.
I
I'm
want to
not
ask you
fighting
both about
masks.
one last subject because events with
Because nobody will show up.
people with.
Well, it's true. Nobody shows up to his rallies.
All right. In any case, what are you
You've
not
done a
worried
great
about it
job
spreading
as a
disease?
president, and I'll have 20. We use airports.
Are you
and
not worried
hangars,
about
and we
the
have a
disease
lot of
issues,
people.
sir? Okay.
By the way, did you see
Yes,
the,
sir.
one of the last they're breathing in one another?
We've had no negative
cheek to
effect.
jowl? No negative effect.
We've
Come
had
on.
no negative effect, and we've had 35, 40,000
All right.
people
You want
at these rallies.
Just
Yes.
quickly finish up because I want to move on to our next.
Yes, I would.
All right.
He's a fool on this.
If you could get the crowds, you would have done the same thing. But you can't. Nobody cares.
Gentlemen, can we move on to the
Nobody cares.
gentlemen? Can we move on to the economy?
Yes.
This guy paid
Well.
a total of $750 in
wrong.
taxes.
Sir,
Any
sir,
millions.
wait,
How
wait,
many-
no, sir, it's
It's
his
the
two.
wrong
Yeah,
statement.
I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it.
Do I get my time back?
We are going to get to.
I
we're
have
gonna-
to respond to that.
Well, you both had 2 minutes, sir.
Excuse me. He made a statement.
So did you.
People back to their lives.
People
They'll
want
be
to be
careful,
safe.
but they want their schools open.
Okay. People
want
I'm
to
the
be
one that
safe.
brought. And you know
We're going
how
to
I
get
found
back.
out when he took
Gentlemen,
a phony
we're going to
ad.
get to your economic plan.
Papers.
Show us your tax
I paid
returns.
$38 million 1 year. I paid $27 million
Show us your tax
1 year.
returns.
I went. I built
Sir,
a great
I'm asking
company.
you a specific question, which
But
is.
let me tell you-
I understand all of that.
Release your
I
tax
understand
return.
all of
But-
that.
but let me-
no, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
I'm asking you a question. You paid millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to
When?
see it. But let me just
Inshallah?
tell you. Now the man got fired
no,
right after that happened. But
Vice
that's
President Biden, you want to respond?
And I'm going to eliminate those tax
okay.
cuts.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25
Wait, no,
years?
Because you
I wanna-
weren't
Why didn't
president.
you do it over
Because
the
you
last
weren't
25
president
years? No,
screwing
no,
things
no, no.
up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just thought of doing,
Okay.
including
Gentlemen.
fixing the broken military that you gave me, including taking care of
we're
your
talking,
vets.
Mr. President, we're talking about the economy.
company
But
in
respectfully,
America.
sir, I'm talking about taxes, not spending.
By the way, I'm going to eliminate billions of dollars.
didn't you do it
Billions
before
of
when
dollars.
you were vice president with Obama?
Because you, in fact, passed that. That was
That's right.
your
I got
tax
it-
proposal.
I got it done. And you know what happened?
you got it done.
Our economy boomed
And
like it's never boomed
The
before.
economy
Well,
is
Mr.
busted.
President,
Let me
wait,
finish.
Mr. President, let me pick up on that, correct?
Not lower taxes for the American people.
But let me,
Excuse me.
But in Obama's,
And plenty of
Half of the
companies that are
companies-
already here, they'll leave for
hardly any
other
companies
places.
have
They will
more than
leave,
you.
and you will have a
Have it.
depression, the likes
that-
of which you've never seen.
Look,
Mr.
we
Vice
inherited.
It wasn't
He blew
booming.
it. He blew it.
It wasn't booming. It was the weakest recovery
well, sir, is it
since
fair to,
1929.
is it fair to say he blew it when, in
When
fact,
COVID came in.
when there was record low unemployment
Yeah.
before COVID?
No, whole.
Excuse
number
me,
one.
Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you're on number two.
No.
Chris. They said it would
This
take
guy
a
is
miracle.
I'm the guy that
He
brought
totally
back
gave
the
up on
automobile
manufacturing.
industry.
All right, let him.
We brought back. I was asked to bring back. They're going.
Ohio
after-
had the best year it's ever had last year. Michigan had the best year they've ever had.
That is not
Many
true.
car companies came in
Never.
from Germany, from Japan, went to Michigan, went to
no,
Ohio.
they're not having that.
And they
Mr.
didn't
Vice-
come
wait,
in
wait,
with
wait,
you.
Mr. Vice President, go ahead.
The highest trade deficit
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch, down
All right, gentlemen,
18%.
in-
China ate your lunch, Joe, and no wonder your son goes in. And also,
Simply
while we're
not
at it,
true.
$1 million.
That's
What
not
did he
true.
do to deserve it?
That
What
is-
did he do with Burisma
None
to
of that-
deserve
Wait, wait,
$183,000?
None
You've
of
asked
that
your
is
question,
true.
let him answer.
None of that is true. It's
Oh, really? He didn't
totally
get
But no,
$3.5
hey,
million?
Mr. President,
It's
Mr.
totally-
President, please. You've
totally
asked a question.
discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
Well, wait,
the
he didn't get
No, no.
$3.5 million, Joe?
Mr. Vice,
He got
Mr.
$3.5 million.
President,
It is not true.
Oh, really?
Mr.
Oh.
President,
But, Mr.
it's an open discussion, please.
Now,
It's a fact.
Well,
It
you
is
have
not a
raised an
fact.
issue. Let the
It's been
Vice
totally
President answer.
discredited.
Did
There was a
Burisma pay him
report.
$183,000 a month with no experience in energy?
Mr.
Look,
President,
no
my
job?
son did nothing wrong at Burisma.
I think he
and
did.
Mr.
The only
President,
guy that
let
did
him
something-
answer.
Thoroughly discredited.
who?
And you
The
can-
media?
By everybody. Well, by the
By the
media,
media,
by our
because they refuse to
allies, by
talk
the
about it
World
because they're
Bank,
embarrassed.
by everyone has discredited. Matter of fact, even
Mr.
the people
President,
who
please stop.
testified under oath.
So let me
under
ask you
oath,
this,
under-
Joe.
under
No, no,
oath.
go ahead, Mr. I'm listening to
Even
you.
the people under.
He got $3.5
he
million from
testified-
Moscow.
I
Oh,
did
really?
it
I'd like to know
honorably.
who they are.
Well, I'll give you the list of the
fire
people who
them.
testified.
No, go ahead, sir.
Sure, you've already fired most of them because they did a
Some
good
because
job.
some people don't do
well,
a good
here's
job. With you,
Go
they
ahead.
said-
You get
here's
the,
the
wait a
deal.
minute. You get the final word, Mr.
Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown. Excuse me. This.
Hey,
this
let me just
person.
tell you,
No. Mr. President.
$3.5
Mr.
million,
President,
Joe.
That is simply.
Why did
not
he
true.
deserve $3.5 million
It
from
did-
Moscow?
Look, here's the deal. Families
My
already.
family,
No, let him go.
my
Let-
family
already
lost
wrote-
a fortune by
Go ahead.
coming down and helping
Go
us
ahead.
with
Go ahead,
government.
sir.
And that's such a.
they're right
that's
here.
a-
Mr.
That's
President.
such
Every
a great.
single one of them lost
This
a
is not
fortune
about
by
President.
my
coming and
family or
helping
his
us with
family. It's
government.
about your family,
They
the
didn't
American
collect
people.
$3.5 million
He
for
doesn't.
nothing.
That's not true. That's what we're talking about
you
here.
should
All right,
Not
that's the,
about
end
here.
of, that's the end of the
Shouldn't have
segment.
taken the money.
We're moving on.
He didn't take them.
Well,
Vice
it's a very-
President,
but Chris,
no,
can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
No,
He
I
stood
get it.
up.
No,
he stood up,
the answer to
and
the
he
question is
threatened
no.
Ukraine.
No, sir.
With $1 billion if you don't
That
get rid of
is
the
If you're-
trust.
you know what, you're-
absolutely
wait,
not
stop.
You're on
true.
tape
You're-
doing it.
you're gonna
You're on
have-
tape.
True.
Gentlemen,
Is-
I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice,
he's
but
on
it seems
tape.
to be, why should I be different than the two of you? So here's the
Got a
deal.
good point.
We have, but I think that the country would be better served if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
Well, that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than, sir, less
there's
than.
plenty.
No, less than you have. Let's please continue on.
President has ever
Finish
said
the
anything
statement.
like that.
Finish the
It's,
statement.
it is whose
Now,
2
second,
minutes, sir.
second point I'd make to you.
They've never forgotten it, Joe.
never
No,
said-
no, sir, it's his 2 minutes.
So you did that.
Violence is never appropriate.
All right.
What is peaceful
President-
protest? When they run through the middle of the town
President Trump-
and burn down your
President Trump,
stores and kill people
President
all over
Trump-
the place,
That
and you
is
say
not
peaceful
peaceful.
protest?
President
no,
Trump,
it's
I'm not
not, but
asking-
you say it is.
I did
President
not
Trump,
say
I'd like to continue with the
Yes,
issue
go
of
ahead,
race, I
please.
promise.
And so does everybody
what
else.
is radical-
and he would know.
what is
oh, it's
radical
totally
about
racist.
racial-
And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Vice President Biden?
Nobody's doing that. He's the racist.
you just don't know.
Here's the deal. I know a lot more about
You
this
don't
than he
know.
does.
Let him finish.
I'm even seeing now.
Oh, my
but the
Lord.
reason
This
is
is
that
ridiculous.
the Democrats that run these
Absolutely
cities
ridiculous.
don't want to talk like you about law and order.
Violent
and you
crime,
still haven't mentioned.
violent
Are you in
crime.
favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you in favor of law and order? Go
yes,
ahead,
I'm
say
in
it.
favor.
You
Everybody's
asked a
in favor
question,
of
let him finish.
Law
You
and order.
lose his
Law
left.
and
No,
order.
let him answer.
Law
All right.
has gone up on his watch.
Went down
He-
much more
he
in
had-
ours.
All right, we're
He
now.
is president of
Mr.
the
President,
United
you're going
States
to.
of
China,
America.
we
Mr.
were
President,
breaking every record in the book.
Mr. President, you're going to be very happy because we're now going to talk about law and order.
Places we had trouble were Democratic-run cities.
That's
and
exactly
those
my question.
Democratic-
There has been a dramatic increase.
crime.
Republican
It is
cities.
crazy what's going on, and you would see problems like you've
He
never
wouldn't
seen
know a
before.
suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
So much
I was
better.
raised.
Go ahead.
I was,
Wait a minute.
I was
So much
raised in the suburbs.
And do you support?
It means
Let me, if I might finish the question. What is?
being
That's not
engaged
what
in
they're
private-
talking about,
That's-
Chris. That's
well,
not what
that-
they're talking about.
that's
He's talking about
exactly-
defunding the police.
That is not true.
He doesn't have any law
Well, you-
support.
look,
He has no law enforcement
That's not
support.
true.
Almost
That's
nothing.
not- that- look,
Go
look,
ahead.
look.
Think. We have time.
We don't have time to do
No, no,
anything.
think
except
about
listen.
it.
Look,
Name
folks,
one law enforcement group that came out and
I think,
supported
gentlemen,
you,
I think
Joe.
I'm going to take back the
There aren't.
moderator's
I don't
role,
think there
and
are
I want to get.
Commits it
But
to
you've
be
never called
prosecuted.
for the people,
He's never
the
said
leader.
that.
Excuse me, sir.
Just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really?
Here,
Oh, really?
here's the
But
thing.
I sent in the
wait, I
U.S.
asked him a
Marshals to
question.
get the killer
No,
of the young man in the middle of the street. They shot him, and for 3
Mr.
days,
President Trump,
Portland
President
wouldn't do
Trump,
anything. I
please
had to send
interrupt-
in the U.S. Marshals.
President
They
Trump,
took care of business.
Go ahead, sir.
And by the way, that's what this is all about.
I don't know who said that.
I do.
Who?
I think Kellyanne Conway.
I don't think she said that.
She said that. And so here's the
All right.
But here's the point.
Go ahead,
The point
sir.
is that
Like
Well, wait, I
criticized.
have to answer his
No,
statement.
you have
His statement.
repeatedly.
Wait,
You have
just one
repeated. No,
second.
you've been talking
He
back
made
and
a
forth.
statement.
I'm asking you.
I would love
you
to
know,
end it.
sir.
I would love to end it, and
You
we
know, if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
We would
could
very quickly.
We could do that, but
I'd
I'm
send
no,
in
I-
the National Guard. It would be over. There'd be no problem.
Okay,
but they
good.
don't want to accept the National Guard.
are you
I'm willing
prepared
to
to
do that,
specifically
but
do it?
Well,
I
go
would
ahead,
say,
sir.
I would say right.
So what are you- what
If
are you-
look-
what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to
supremacists.
condemn?
White
Proud Boys.
supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by a right-wing
own-
problem.
his
This
own
is a left-wing.
FBI director
This
said
is a
the threat
left-wing
of
Go ahead,
problem.
white
Go ahead, sir.
supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what
Oh, really?
his
It's an idea.
FBI, his
Okay.
FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well,
we're
then
gonna-
you know what?
No,
He's
no,
wrong.
we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next.
Everybody
We're
gives
moving.
you
When a bat
advice
hits
in
you
your
over the head, that's
administration.
not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is bad.
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas that are.
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen,
group.
we're now moving on to the Trump
and
and
you ought to
Biden
be careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow you.
When
in
a
2
president,
seconds.
I'm going to ask a question.
Proper health care. It was a mess. And this term,
Time, sir.
300.
Trump,
This
you have 2
president-
minutes uninterrupted.
Soldiers.
Your son got
In-
$3.5
No.
million.
Not your-
Mi-
And
Mr.
by the way,
President, Mr.
my
President,
son.
Wait a minute. Mr. President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word. Can you add
No,
back
no,
He's
I'm
a
not
person
asking.
that's
That was
not
a
yelling.
rhetorical question.
Can you
Go
add
ahead,
back
sir.
30 seconds?
Yeah,
Because-
yes,
okay.
you may have.
All right.
Go ahead.
So he was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're
I
talking
don't know.
about.
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah, you
Hunter
know
got
Bo.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
for
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made a
son,
fortune.
my son,
And he didn't have a job.
My son, like a lot of people. Like,
Why
I'm
was he
proud of
given
my
tens
son.
of millions
All
of
right.
But he
dollars?
wasn't given
All right.
tens of
He
millions
was
of
given
dollars. That
tens
is
of
totally,
millions of
that's been
President Trump-
totally
President Trump,
discredited.
you've already been
Totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather hear about more substantial
So do I.
subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a
I know, but when
judgment call
somebody
here.
gets $3.5 million
Okay, great.
from the
Let's
mayor
talk
of
about-
Moscow,
let's
That
talk
is
about-
not
I think it's a
true.
terrible
That
thing.
report is totally
Why did he get
discredited.
it?
I
Mitt
think,
Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers' money, that report. It was written for political reasons.
you know, I'd like to talk about climate change.
So would I.
it would be much cheaper by
But in the case of
$3,500.
California, they've simply
No, but you
ignored
would take
your
a lot of cars
roadmap.
off the market.
Well, the fact that
Not true.
it's all true. And here's
He's
the deal.
talking about the Green New Deal, and it's not $2 billion or $20 billion, as you said. It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
where they
the
want to
Biden
rip down
plan.
Go for a
buildings
minute, and then you can go.
and rebuild the building.
No,
It's the
that is
dumbest,
not-
most
that
ridiculous.
is not
where
the case.
airplanes are out of
minute, sir.
business,
That's
where two-car systems are out, where they
Not
want to
true.
take out the cows too.
Not
That's not
true.
true either, right?
Not
this is
true.
a $100
Simply,
trillion.
look,
That's more money than our
is-
country could make in
that is
100
simply
years if we're
not
going.
the case.
All right, let me
It will destroy
because,
our
because I
country.
actually wait a minute, sir. I actually
Jobs, good
100
paying
trillion.
jobs.
What, let him finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
$100
They-
billion. I never said that
That's
at all.
he did say
You
that.
made it up.
And here's the deal.
You make up a
we
lot of things.
we are going to be in a position where
The Green New Deal is $100 trillion.
that is
not
not
$20
my
billion.
plan.
That's
the Green
well,
New
you want to
Deal
rebuild every
is
building.
not my plan.
You want to
All
rebuild
right.
every.
If he knew
You asked-
anything
wait, no,
about,
no, wait.
if he
Gentlemen?
knew
He
anything
made a
about,
statement
Gentlemen?
about the military. He said I said something about the military. Said it.
Okay.
That is
what
not
he
true.
did
Sir,
is he
you're done in
said
this segment.
he called
Mr.
the
Vice-
military
Mr. Vice President,
stupid bastards.
I
and he
did
said
not
it on
say
tape.
that.
He said
Mr.
stupid
Please,
bastards. He
not
said
sir,
it.
stop.
I would never
I
say
would
that
play
to
it,
the
Stop.
military.
play it.
Go ahead,
You're
Mr.
on
Vice
tape.
President. Answered his final question.
The final question is, I can't remember which of all his rantings. was the
I'm having a
final
little
question.
trouble. I'm having a little trouble myself. Do you support?
No, I don't support the Green
Oh,
New Deal.
you don't? Oh, well, that's a
You
big
let-
statement.
I
That
support
means you
the
just
Biden-
lost the radical left.
I
Done.
support
Oh, you
the
don't.
Biden plan.
Announced.
Okay.
We have major
No,
states
time-
with that.
sir,
All run by
2 minutes
Democrats.
is 2 minutes.
All
You're-
run by
you're-
Democrats. It's
President
a fraud.
Trump.
It's a rigged election.
You're going to be able to continue.
We don't like them. We don't like them.
But
They
what are you
throw
going to
them
do
out
about it?
left
There
and
are
right.
millions of ballots going out
What
right
you
now.
do
What
is
are
you
gonna
go
do?
and vote. You do a solicited ballot,
No,
and that's
I'm not-
okay.
I know your
Or you go and
complaint.
vote.
I'm asking you about the fact that millions of people.
You go
have
and
rece-
vote. You go and
No,
vote
but what
like
I'm
they
saying is, what are
like
you
they
gonna do
used
about
to
the
in
fact
the
that
old.
millions of people-
You either do, Chris, for our country.
There is no-
This is not.
there is no
This is
evidence
not
of
going to
that.
end well.
There is
Okay.
no
This
evidence
is
of that.
not going
Vice
to
President
end well.
Biden-
5 states
In fact,
have had
go ahead,
mail-in
sir.
ballots.
You're
Those are the
wrong.
outcomes.
You're wrong.
No, I want
counting
to
votes.
continue with you on
I
this,
love
Vice
counting the
President
votes.
Biden.
Chris,
because
he's so wrong when he makes
in
a
fact,
statement
no,
like that.
excuse me, they
can
missed
be fraud.
the deadline. All right.
Excuse me,
Fine,
Chris, when you
I
have
a final,
80 million ballots
gentlemen, I have a final
sent in
question.
and swamping the system, you know it can't be done. You know it can't, and already
All
there's
right.
been
So now,
fraud.
Mail
deception.
service delivers
wait a minute, gentlemen. And the
185
final
million
question
pieces of mail a
is:
day.
in
million
8
ballots.
states, we can keep talking.
It's
in
a-
8
it's a
states,
disgrace.
election workers are prohibited.
If it's a fair
You're urging
election,
them what?
and I'll tell
what-
you
what does that
from
mean,
a
not go
common
along?
sense,
Does that mean you're
I'll
gonna
tell you
tell
what
your
it means.
people to take to the
It means
street?
you have a fraudulent election. You're
And what are
sending
you
out
gonna do?
80
And
million
what would you
ballots.
do
They're
about
not.
that?
They're not equipped to.
Vice President
think
Biden.
that's good?
Vice President Biden.
It's in the process.
It's already been established.
It's-
Take a look at Carolyn Maloney's race
I
in
asked
Manhattan.
you had an opportunity
Look
to
at
respond.
Carolyn Monroe.
Go ahead.
They have no idea what
Vice
happened.
President Biden, go ahead.
And this guy,
I want to
if
see
in
an
fact,
honest
Okay.
ballot count.
Gentlemen,
We-
you say that's the end of
Chris,
it? This is the
I
end
wanna
of this
see an
debate?
honest ballot count.
We're
And I
going to
think
leave
he
it
does
there.
too.
To be continued as in more debates as we go on. President Trump, Vice President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half.